Peace, love, and divine light. Coming on here to bring a message. If the message resonates, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You ever had so much to say, so many things, so many energies, you're not sure where to start? Well, there's definitely a lot that's happening in the 3D. And as we've mentioned before, whatever you see happening here in the 3D, whatever you see happening here in the 3D, be aware and be very conscious that there's a lot more happening on a spiritual level. There's a reason for this. There's a reason why it's important that you know this. Part of it is, for some of you, if you have not started taking your spiritual walk seriously, now is the time to start. And for those of you who have been taking your spiritual walk seriously, it's time to step it up a notch. It truly and definitely, most definitely is time to step it up a notch, spiritually speaking. What does that mean? That means that every fiber of your being, every cell must fully, consciously decide that you are going to elevate yourself spiritually with the foods that you eat, with the things that you watch, the people that you hang out with. It is definitely an overall internal work as well as external. And part of that level of seriousness, taking it up a notch, it also means that you ask for assistance and guidance when you know you need it the most. When your spirit guides are speaking to you, even in the smallest voice, when you are conscious, when you have those flashes where something's telling you, hey, this person doesn't seem right, or hey, this situation reminds me of this. Don't ignore those intuitive nudges. That's part of what it means to take your spiritual walk up a notch. That you're going to be fully consciously aware and in the moment as your spirit guides are speaking to you. That you choose, actually, an essential aspect of that is that you choose to be in the present. Choose to be in the present. Well, part of that being in the present, many of us know that the present oftentimes it also means that we're experiencing many different timelines at the same time. Like while you are in the present, your spirit guides could also be reminding you of something that happened previously to assist and support you. So it's a little bit more complicated. Some of you are beginning to see that your spiritual walk, it does in fact require a lot more work. And it's not necessarily too complicated for you to handle. It's definitely taking a lot more work. It's taking a lot more willpower. It's not something that you get to be passive and say that you have elevated. There's no passiveness with elevation. Elevation has to be an active thing. It has to be active, like you actively working on elevating yourself. This is something that you get to do 24/7. And as tiring as it may seem, think about how much time and energy has gone into making sure that you stay in a sleep state. And what's really going to boggle your mind is to figure out why it is that so much effort was put into putting you asleep. So, the amount of effort that it took you, it took them, okay? It took these energies that are not about the elevation of humanity. It's taking them quite some time to put you in a sleep state. So it's going to take you an equal amount of time, if not more, energy to bring you back to a level of consciousness where you're able to elevate yourself. And I know I'm always talking about elevating yourself, becoming the highest version of yourself, essentially, becoming this light being who you are meant to be. And it's definitely a journey. We are all on this journey together, experiencing it. Whether this is someone on the opposite side of the spectrum that's decided that they're not going to walk in light, they're going to stay in a low vibrational energy. They are on a journey as well. Now, putting the focus back to you, it's essential that you decide to stay awake, that you take your consciousness to the next level. And I realize also that part of what makes it challenging for a lot of us to be conscious, to be in the now, is that we have so much that we're dealing with that it's often challenging to be in the now. It's a challenge to consistently stay in the now, to receive what your spirit guides are giving you. Like many a times your guides are speaking to you very clearly about a situation, about a person, how you're not supposed to interact with someone. And if you don't have that foundation, if you don't consistently work on yourself, even the slightest intuitive nudge where your spirit guides are telling you, no, don't do this, go here, you may ignore it. In fact, you're meant to ignore it. I would even go as far as to say that a lot of these low vibrationals are banking on you being asleep as you're interacting with them, because they know what they've done. They know the pieces that they put in place in order for the majority, the chosen, to be in a sleep state so they can keep running things as usual because they're losing power. And for many of you, this kind of talk may be uncomfortable because depending on where you are in your journey, certain things will not resonate. In fact, it may even bring a certain level of concern that you may feel like you're not ready for. Some of you are not ready for this spiritual battle that is happening. You're not ready for it. Some of you are not ready. And you get to be ready in your own time. Everyone essentially is at a different point in their spiritual journey. Yet the key is to never give up, to be consistent. If that one thing that you get to do every single day is to pour libation, is to ask for guidance before your day begins, to ask for protection against all seen and unseen entities that are working against you. If all you get to do is to salute the sun, one of the greatest cosmic forces that ever exists, and ask for guidance, if the thing that you get to do is to salute the sun and ask for guidance, and ask for light, then you get to do that. Because we're all at different points in our spiritual journey, and we get to be we get to push ourselves. Okay, we get to push ourselves to grow, to become stronger. And at the same time, there's a energy of, you know, empathy that we get to have, a level of understanding, overstanding regarding where we are in our spiritual walk, in our journey. Now, get to know wherever you are in your spiritual journey, you can definitely kick it up a notch. And I would say now is the time to do so. Now is that time to step it up a notch in your spiritual walk. Because the folks that have maintained power for quite some time, that have used spiritual manipulation to keep the majority asleep so that they can continue to run the world, they're beginning to realize that folks are awakening in a massive amounts, and there's a concern. So this war that's happening on a spiritual level, that's manifesting itself in the spiritual, in the physical, it has a lot to do with the folks that are losing power. They're losing grip of the massive amounts of people that they have worked so hard to put asleep. And you are one of them. You are one of them that they just lost. And they're going to try their darnest to bring you back to a sleep state, because the more folks are asleep, the more they're able to get assistance to carry out their agendas, because they can tell you to do and be whatever it is that they choose for you to be and do, as long as you're asleep. So your awakening is upsetting a lot of people at this time. Let it upset them. They're going to be mad, because you're going to continue to elevate on a mental, physical, and spiritual level. And now is the time for you to kick up your spiritual walk a notch. Kick it up a notch. Whatever you're used to doing, push yourself to do a bit more. Because it is with action we will see results. It is with light that we will continue to fight this spiritual and the spiritual war that's manifesting itself in the physical. All right, y'all. Much love, peace, and divine light.